Hello there, YouTubers. This is CD Mangaka, and today's background gameplay is going to be some domination on the map of Vanna, and I'm actually running around with an Enfield and a few support kill streaks. I don't know if it's 3, 4, and 5 or 3, 5, and 8, but as you watch the video, you'll find out. But the gameplay is not what's important. What's important, at least to me, for today, is that it is Friday, and it is time for another episode of Musical Opinions. And this is my own personal choice for an album, and I've had a long-time fans have been asking me to, do musical opinions on this group, and I have actually done one before, but I haven't done one in the style and format that I have, that I'm doing it now, and I haven't done it in the way that I'm supposedly doing it recently. So I figured it's time that I probably should just go ahead and, in a sense, redo it, and also just focus on one album of the group and try to explain my personal feelings about this group. And today's group is 3 Days Grace, and longtime fans will generally know that 3 Days Grace is by far it's my favorite band of all time. And I'm going to clarify right here, it's my favorite band of all time, but I do not think for a moment that they are the best band in the world. I think that there are many music groups out there that are better than them as far as within the rock genre goes. Personally, I think that Skillet, another group I listen to, is a better band than 3 Days Grace, but for me, 3 Days Grace is personally my favorite, and I'm not too sure why. I have a few guesses as to why. Maybe it's because so many of their songs I can relate to, and they're all... It's been amazing to kind of follow Adam Gontier through his struggles and kind of just see how the music has changed, or maybe it's because it's the first band I really discovered on my own. Like most of the other music I listen to, my parents have more or less introduced me to them. Like Nickelback I've stopped listening to, Van Halen I don't really listen to that much, but there's country music and stuff like that. I mean, I don't listen to that stuff anymore because it's stuff that I didn't find out. It's something my parents found out, and so 3 Days Grace was in fact the first band that I myself discovered while just browsing music, and I developed the first strong emotional connection to. So maybe that's the reason why I love them so much. But fantastic band. They're my favorite, not the best in the world. If you say they suck, you are flat out wrong, because if you do not get a platinum on your first record by sucking, you do it by kicking ass. It's okay if you don't like the band, I'm fine with that, but just keep the facts straight and keep it opinionated. And this is Musical Opinions, by the way. So 3 Days Grace was formed in, looks like 1992, under the name Groundswell. They broke up in 1997, got back together in the same year as 3 Days Grace, and they released their first album, their debut album, in 2003. It was titled 3 Days Grace, and then they continued and during that touring time, between 2003 and 2006, Adam Gontier got the lead singer and rhythm guitarist for the band. Actually developed an Oxycontin addiction. Oxycontin is a painkiller, and he went into rehab for it eventually because he recognized he had a problem for it. And when he was in rehab, that's when he started writing up songs for the second album, which is the album of this review, and by far the best 3 Days Grace album they have ever created. 1X, and he wrote plenty of the songs while he was in rehab. There was Pain that he wrote in rehab, I believe, over and over. Maybe Gone Forever, Animal I Become, I know, was written in rehab. So Adam wrote this album when he was in a time of struggle, and that's one reason why so many of the songs that you can just instantly relate to. And so Adam Gontier has gotten over the Oxycontin. He's successfully been treated. He's drug-free as of today, and it shows in his the new record, Life Starts Now. Even though it's an inferior record to 1X, I kind of celebrate it by the fact that it's able to be a lighter tone, because Adam himself is, he's in a lighter part of his life. So I do celebrate that by bemoaning the way of sound in which they took. But anyways, let's talk about the music right now, rather than just like me, drooling over Adam Gontier, who I would totally go gay for if I was that kind of a guy. But the 1X basically is the best album, 3 Days Grace. And the first album, it was really good, but it was kind of them trying to figure out what they wanted to do, and they went with an angry sound. They weren't an angry band, they weren't angry people, but they were able to get an angry sound with some really tough lyrics to them. Like I Hate Everything About You was one of those songs, and it was really good how they pulled it off, and they took it a step further in their 1X album, and they really fully realized, in my opinion, the sound that should be 3 Days Grace. And this album has so much variety. I believe it has plenty of variety within its rock genre as it is, and every song feels like it has its own unique character to it. Alright, the songs go, It's All Over, just a badass rock song, but I mean, it's the opening. It's a good opening, it's a powerful opening, it has a little cool intro into it. Then they start off with Pain, which is really a unique song, because it's almost like a schizophrenic dive into the emotion, where you kind of feel as they play the verse and they do the high picking on the guitar. You can almost feel like, just kind of like the solemnness of the pain. And then they go into the chorus where he just goes, pain, pain, without love. By the way, great drinking song. Pain, take a shot. You almost just like feel, you feel the emotion of pain almost, just like the sheer repetitiveness of it, and it's a great song. Then they become to probably one of the most recognizable songs of all time, Animal I Have Become. It's just this great descent into darkness, almost it feels like, where they start with this opening bass riff and the guitar comes in. And, I mean, it's just like this pound. I mean, you can almost feel like you're under its control, like you are transforming into an animal yourself. I mean, they have a good music video with that too. And then, you know, they start with it like that, and then they slow it down. They start to slow it down with the 4th album, and in my opinion, which is the best 3 Days Grace song of all time, Never Too Late. It is the most recognizable acoustic riff, probably aside from I Hate Everything About You. But it is just a solemn song that is really a strong part of me. It's one of my favorite songs, and it's the first song I actually ever learned to play on guitar. And I played it for my 500 subscriber celebration, so that was a cool moment to, you know, experience. But this song has been with me through a lot, and it's just a fantastic song. I mean, you cannot. I mean, it's just so powerful. Its message, and it is definitely like the crown jewel in 3 Days Grace, best song of all time by that band. And then you go on to another one, On My Own. Takes like a little bit of a solemn. You feel isolated when you listen to On My Own. That's one thing that each song does well. Each song, the lyrics accompany the instrument as far as how they feel. It's just like this. Zagantier, when they created the music, he came up with the lyrics that perfectly described the feeling of the song. And that's what I believe a musician as a singer should do, is that they should verbalize the feeling that the song gives. That's my opinion what a singer should do, and Adam Gontier does a great job with the lyrics. I love 3 Days Grace's lyrics. That got some good stuff. And On My Own is a good song. I'm just barely getting into it recently. You know, it's got a it's catchy. You can kind of bob to it, but I mean, you also feel isolated when they play the verse. And then Riot, one of their funnest songs of all time. Riot is an amazing song. It's just off the wall. I mean, you want to start a riot. It's the repetitive chorus. It's just, let's start a riot, let's start a riot. That's all their chorus is. But it's so freaking catchy with the guitar riff in it, and it's just a phenomenal song. I mean, you really want to start a riot with it. Get Out Alive is just an awesome ballad of just pure energy and rock. I mean, it starts off slow and then just picks up the pace into this, you know, orgasmic like bridge. It is just a beautiful song all around. Let It Die is another bit of a slower song. I mean, they do go a little acoustic there. Very good song there. Over and Over, one of my personal favorites by the band. I mean, when they go with the verse riff that they do, I mean, it's just over and over, over and over. I mean, it's just like with the way they play the riff. I mean, again, this is like a song where it truly feels like lyrics and the sound of the song are one, and they have the same message to it. Then they have another rocking song, Time of Dying. Great song. It's just another fun song. It's a slow song, but you can't help but feel it has a fast pace and energy to it. It's a great song in my opinion. Then you got Gone Forever, which I'm really starting to appreciate in a new light recently, because Gone Forever, it's like almost like he's lying to you. Like Gontier, like saying like, you know, I'm better off without you. You know, I feel so much better now that you're gone forever. But when you look at the verse and he talks about what he's doing, like going out at night in the middle of the night to get drunk and fight. I mean, you can almost tell that he's just putting on a face, that he's really hurting from this, you know, person leaving in his life. But he's just trying to, you know, play it tough and say, you know, I'm gone forever. I'm glad you're gone forever. Excuse me. Hope you miss me. And then they finish up with 1X, and 1X by far is like the weakest song on the album, which is really disappointing because it's a tighter song, and it has a bit of more of a technique kind of sound to it. I mean, it's not like full-blown techno, but I mean, it's a different sound than the rest of the album, kind of. Doesn't really work, and unfortunately, I feel like when 3 Days Grace wrote up the album Light Stuff Now, they looked at 1X and said, hey, I kind of like that sound. Let's try and emulate that sound on these new songs that we write up. Bad direction, in my opinion, I'll go, but I'll talk about that some other time. But, you know, 1X is still a good song. The lyrics are great. I just wish the sound was a little different on that song. And then I have the deluxe version where they include an acoustic cover that Gontier does of Wicked Game, and it's a beautiful thing. Look it up. You know, just Adam Gontier, Wicked Game. You know, 3 Days Grace, Wicked Game. I mean, you'll come across it. It is a beautiful song. And really, it is the best album that 3 Days Grace has ever written. It is just a phenomenal album. It is my favorite album of all time, and I hope that you guys, you know, check out a few songs in this. Never Too Late, Am I Become in Pain? That is all I really want you guys to check out. But this has been a Musical Opinions by CD Mangaka. In the comment section of this video, give me a suggestion for next time's Musical Opinions group. Rate up the comment section, guys. Highest rated comment for musical group will be the group that I do for Musical Opinions. This is CD Mangaka reviewing 3 Days Grace, 1X, my personal favorite band of all time. Thank you all for watching and listening.